Hello everybody, I am not dead yet, and as you can see, I may not be dead, but I'm a little beat up. I got a black eye here, a little bit of swelling here, I'm not sure if you can see that, and obviously, I'm missing 2 teeth. So it looks like all the people that say I have missing teeth have finally become right, I guess? I don't know. Anyway, so how did I lose teeth? Well, I went sparring again for the first time earlier this week, actually, and, yeah, I ended up getting my 2 front bottom teeth punched out. Now, it's not a big deal. They were baby teeth anyway. I didn't have any adult teeth underneath them, which is why they never fell out in the first place. So they probably would have fallen out anyway. But I did make a post about this on Instagram, and I got a few comments going like, whoa, like, I didn't know sparring was that intense. I didn't know you could get hurt that bad in regular sparring. And the answer is, yeah, you can, obviously, but it's pretty uncommon, especially considering the fact that what I did when I first stepped back into the ring wasn't really sparring. It was a fight. It was something that I probably shouldn't have done, but I'm glad that I did. So what ended up happening was I went back to a club that I used to spar with fairly regularly, and I stepped into the ring with someone whom I consider to be the pinnacle. He's one of the best fighters in this country, and we did not take it lightly. We were very excited to be back into the ring. We were very excited to see each other again, and we went like hard intensity right from the get-go. We were not sparring, we were trying to kill each other, as evidenced by the fact that I walked away with a black eye, swelling here, and obviously missing teeth. So, the way I can basically describe it is a marathon runner who takes 4 years off running, starts running again, and then decides to test his level by stepping into an Ironman competition against David Goggins. Like, I went balls to the wall, hardcore right from the start, but I'm glad I did because it gave me a good starting point as to what I would be like in an actual fight and what I would be like in casual light sparring, because after I got my teeth knocked out, I continued to spar for another 3 rounds. It was actually really funny. So how did this happen? Well, again, hard sparring, but I took a very hard straight left. He is a southpaw, and he gave me a straight left cross that hit me right in the mouth. My head whipped back, and with my peripheral bottom vision, I saw 2 pieces of white just go flying, and I was like, is that my teeth? And then I felt blood just trickle down my mouth, and then I started tasting blood, and then I felt the holes. I'm like, yep, those were my teeth. And it was really he was really, like, distraught when it happened. He said he felt really bad. Meanwhile, I'm walking around laughing. The reason why I could keep going was because again, they were just baby teeth. There were no roots. I felt little to, like, no pain at all. Like, obviously it hurts getting punched in the mouth, but aside from that, like, I didn't feel pain of getting my teeth knocked out. They just kind of flew out. And, so I phoned my mom, and I'm like, hey, so I got my teeth punched out. And she's like, oh, the baby ones? I'm like, yep. And she's like, oh, well, I guess you finally lost your baby teeth at 22 years of age. And I'm like, yep, I did. And I'm like, we're probably gonna have to go to the dentist for this. He goes, yep, it's okay, your brother's got a dentist appointment Wednesday, so I'll talk to you, our dentist about that Wednesday. And I'm like, okay, great, but, like, kind of sucks that I, like, have to stop or whatever, because, you know, my teeth. And she's like, yeah, well, I mean, you could just leave the holes too, that's an option. I'm like, yeah, I guess I could. And I'm like, you know, it doesn't really hurt, like, they were just baby teeth, the bleeding's almost stopped, can I stay? And she's like, yeah, definitely stay, go, you went to spar, go get what you came for. And I was like, alright, great. So we hung up, and we kept sparring. Again, it was really good. I am not where I was, and I'm not where I need to be. And while that is a little, like, it does kind of suck, it gives me a great starting point, and it gives me things that I need to work on. One of the things that I found was I was incredibly tense. And so, as I started to do drills the day after, and even going on into, you know, the day after, and even today, I started to loosen up a lot more, and just shake off a lot of nerves and uncertainty that comes with stepping into the ring again for, the first time in a long while. Things like, oh, what is it going to be like moving? How is my timing, my distance, my head movement, my stamina? Can I still take a punch? And those are all things that were answered in that sparring session. So I am really, really glad that I stepped in there and did that. I'm also really glad that my teeth flew out of my head because, again, it's just one of those things that, like, well, 2 reasons. 1, it's a great story to tell. Here I am, obviously, telling it. And 2, they would have fallen out anyway, and I prefer to have them just boom knocked out in one fell swoop as opposed to biting into an apple or something and then having one kind of wiggle, one kind of fall out. It's just a big mess, and I just kind of prefer to have them taken out in one fell swoop. So I've been continuing to go to this club for sparring. for a couple days now, and again, each time I get slightly better. I'm not fully back right away, and like I said, it does suck not being quite as good as I remember myself, but what I really love about this is every day I shake off more and more of the rust. Every day my punches become a little bit faster, a little bit sharper, my slipping becomes a little bit tighter, my rhythm and my timing comes back little by little, the instincts and memories come back little by little, and it just feels like every day I slowly break out of my shell and start moving. It's like that scene in Forrest Gump where he kind of starts off in those like he has those like things to straighten his legs, and he kind of starts off kind of clunky, and as he kind of starts moving more and more, he breaks free of those and starts running. That is the best way I could possibly describe what I'm feeling. Every day I am slowly getting back to what I was. And this is something that this is a message that I want to give to all of you who are either looking to return to boxing or who are completely new to boxing, because I have been training to get myself back into physical conditioning to fight for the past 2 years now. And I stand by the fact that I am in the best shape I have ever been in my entire life. My stamina's better, I'm stronger, I'm smarter, even when it comes to the sport. I've studied it, but when I stepped back into the ring, I gassed out incredibly early, and I was super tense, and I just wasn't as good as I was 4 years ago, and that is ring rust. So one, it comes back to that saying that I said in another video. I'm not even sure which one it is at this point, but it was, you are never as good as you want to be, but you are never as bad as you fear you will be. And that's kind of what it is. And I want to emphasize the importance of patience, because again, I have been training for 2 years, and then I step back into the ring and get my teeth punched out of my head. That can be for somebody who doesn't love this sport, and for lesser men, that would be very disheartening, and that would be reason to give up. Oh, I've been training for so long, and then I finally do it again, and then boom, there go my teeth, I've got a black eye, I'm not as good as I used to be, it's all this and that. No, things take time, years. And sure, things come back relatively quickly, but again, I say relatively quickly. And so you have to remember that things take a long time, and you have to really love and trust the process. Don't be too focused on the end goal, because you eventually lose sight on what is now. And sometimes it's important to focus on what is now. Not, like, don't completely forget the future and live day to day. You obviously have goals in mind, but don't let achieving that goal tunnel vision you into forgetting what's important. And that's really just being patient and trusting the process. And that can go for anything in life, not just boxing, but anything in life. But yeah, so I was supposed to have the footage sent to me because we did record it, so I haven't received it yet, but when I do, I will probably react to it and maybe look at it, and if not in this video, maybe another one. Depends on how quickly I get the footage and how quickly I want to get this video out. But yeah, so we stepped in, I was really tense, and we were trying to kill each other. I took some hard shots. Like, I remember in the first round, I was kind of swinging for the fences. I was trying to really get him, and this person is probably one of the best people I could have matched with. What do I mean by that? Well, he's the exact counter of my style. He is somebody who can engage, he can fight in the pocket, up close, he can do infighting, but why would he? He's a little bit taller than me, and he is very light on his feet. So he took a few hard shots from me and said, nope, I'm going to stick to what I do best, and that's jabbing the living crap out of him, setting up shots, and manipulating him into punches that I want him to take from me, and that's exactly what he did. So he started off, and we exchanged a few, but he gave me a really good body shot that were like, oh, and I stepped back and I was like, okay, gotta recover. And that was great. I'm glad that happened because it taught me that I can still take a punch. I haven't lost it. I can still take a shot that stuns me, hurts me, recover, and keep fighting. Even though my arms and legs felt like they were filled with lead, I was still able to push through and keep fighting, which is another thing that it taught me, that I can still mentally push through. Even if I'm not as what I used to be, as conditioned as I used to be, I still have that keep fighting, don't give up mentality, which again are a lot of things that you kind of take for granted, and are even doubts that I didn't even know I had, but they were doubts that were settled. And there were moments, what allowed me to not be completely discouraged by the fact that I stepped into sparring for the first time and got the shit beat out of me, was that I still hit him with some really hard shots too. There were a few moments where I just slipped and boom, and I remember catching him with a really, really nice overhand right that caught him kind of square in the temple cheek area and just boom, really cranked his head, and then I gave him a good body shot follow-up. And there were times where I wanted to follow up, but I was just too tired. I gassed out early. I didn't pace myself, which again was something that it taught me. Okay, now I need to pace myself better, which I did the next time I sparred. It was a great learning experience. I got a lot of feedback from that. But those little brief instances of me tagging him with hard shots was signaling to me, it's like, that old me is still in there. I still have those skills. It's just a matter of bringing my conditioning up to the point that I need it to be, and just kind of getting back into the swing of things. It's one of those things where even though you know you're good, you never truly know how much you've lost. And those little bits, those moments of like, yes, I caught him. Okay, that was a good slip. Ooh, all right, good. Boom. Just those brief moments of like, I'm back. It encourages me because it's like that me is still in there. It's almost fighting to get out. It wants to do, I want to do what I used to, but there are certain things that are stopping me, even just ring rust and not, poor pacing and just not being used to fighting, because I haven't stepped into I retired 4 years ago and I haven't stepped into the ring in 2 years. These are all boundaries that the old me is just trying to break through, and it's this feeling of like, if I keep pushing, I can get back to what I was, but not only that, I can be better. And that's what encourages me. I'm not going to say I don't have doubts, but it's the champion isn't someone who never doubts himself or never experiences those like, oh shit moments. The champion is the ones who experiences all that and pushes through it. And again, this can go for anything in life, not just boxing. So that was my experience sparring again. I took some hard shots. I gave some hard shots. I lost some teeth, and I learned a lot about what I need to improve on, and I immediately started improving. And I can immediately say it's been about 3 days since I've sparred. The sparring that knocked out my teeth anyway. And I am already a better fighter than I was 3 days ago. Honestly, the day after I woke up from that sparring session, I was already a better fighter. I felt looser, more confident in myself. I knew exactly what I needed to work on. I knew how to pace myself better. All that information served to make me better. So sometimes it is okay to, I don't even want to say this is a failure, but it's okay to get the shit beat out of you. It's okay to get hurt. It's okay to lose. I was holding my own. Kind of. I was still tagging him, but if that were a real fight, I would have lost. He boxed circles around me. But that's okay, because it wasn't a real fight, and I can use that to make me better for when I do step into the ring again. Now, I do want to talk about one other thing before I close off this video, and that is, what am I planning to do about my teeth, right? Because, well, am I going to leave them? The answer is no. I considered it. I considered just like doing nothing and just leaving the holes. But apparently you shouldn't do that, because the longer you leave the holes, the more your mouth, the gap will close, and your mouth will adapt to having that hole there. And so if later on in life you want to get replacements, it's going to be a lot more difficult to kind of rearrange the mouth. It's going to be a more difficult process, more money, etc. So I shouldn't just leave these like this. I should try and get it fixed as soon as possible. Now, they do have those implants that they drill directly into your jaw and basically serve as, you know, teeth, except they're not your real teeth, but they're, you know, kind of the best you get, right? There's one issue, though. Those implants are $9,000, and I'm going to be paying for that out of pocket. So, and I still want a box. So what was suggested to me was I'm going to get denters, the ones that you can like snap in, snap out, like take in and take out, that I will wear. So I'll be wearing fake teeth as I walk around in everyday life. You know, walking on the street, I'll have a pair of denters or something that like clip in or whatever. And then whenever I go to fight, I'll simply take them out. Denters out, teeth out, mouth guard in, right? Denters out, mouth guard in. But that's what I plan to do. And so that will allow me to keep boxing, and I will have those temporary teeth, those teeth that I can remove for the entirety of my boxing career. And then when I decide that I am done boxing, I no longer want to fight, I will go and have the implants that they drill into your jaw put into my mouth, and then I will just do that. Or maybe, you know, you never know. I don't know when I'm going to stop boxing. It could be a year from now, 2 years from now, 15 years from now. Who knows what the future holds? But hell, maybe I'll just keep the ones that you take out. Who the heck knows? I have a dentist appointment coming up next week to be able to take a mold of my mouth and start creating those snap-in teeth for me. But again, another issue is those teeth are going to cost $1,000. So when this is all said and done, I will be paying 10 grand out of pocket for my teeth. So I'm going to ask you guys if you would like to help me and support me and help me pay for my teeth that got punched out in my boxing. There are ways for you to support me monetarily, and I decided that I'm just going to start setting aside most of the money I get from people supporting me to pay for my teeth. So if you want to support me, if you want to give me money to help pay for, you know, my dentures, my teeth, or my implants later on down the line, you can donate to me via PayPal. It is in my description, or you can become a patron and help support the channel. The money there will again be going either towards the teeth or towards the channel or just towards me in general, because I'm currently unemployed and I do not make a lot of money. But yeah, so if you want to help support me, PayPal, Patreon, all in the description. You want to help, you know, pay for the dental bills. Much appreciated. You can also, if you want to get something out of it yourself, aside from the satisfaction of supporting me or whatever I give out on whatever Patreon tier you decide to choose from, you can use my affiliate links, the gregdoucette.com and HTLT subs. You need to click my link. It's like an Amazon link, and buy something from Greg, and that helps support me. I get 10% of whatever you buy. So that is all I have to say for this video. I hope it was entertaining. Hope you enjoyed. And until the next one, remember, only the strong subscribe. I'm not dead yet. And if you are not either, there is always a tomorrow waiting for you.